Hello, my book peeps. It's Ashley here. I have some book reviews for you. I'm just gonna go over the facts about the book, maybe read the back of the books, and tell you what I thought of them a little bit and what I gave them. If you want more of a review, go to my blog. I'll put a link in the down bar for you. And the first book is The Iron Daughter by Julie Kagawa. I'll read you the back. Half summery fairy princess, half human, Megan has never fit in anywhere. Deserted by the Winter Prince she thought loved her. She's a prisoner to the Winter Fairy Queen. As war looms between summer and winter, Megan knows that the real danger comes from the Iron Fae. Iron-bound fairies that only she and her absent prince have seen. But no one believes her. Worse, Megan's own Fae powers have been cut off. She's stuck in the fairy with only her wits and for help. Trusting anyone would be foolish. Trusting a seeming traitor could be deadly. Even as she grows a backbone of iron, Megan can't help but hear the whispers of a longing in her all-too-human heart. This was released August 1st of 2010. It's published by Harkle Tween. These guys. Can't say the name right. This series is The Iron Fae, and this is book 2. And the page amount is 359 pages in the US paperback edition. And that's the font. Just as amazing as the first one. I really, really loved it. It's my book candy. In this one, Megan has to help try and stop a war. And, yeah, I don't want to spoil it in case no one hasn't read it yet. But if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Seriously, go get this series now. The next book is But I Love Him by Amanda Grace. Sorry. And I'll read you the back. But I love him. Sometimes at night I wake up and stare at the heart for hours. I think of how I collected it. Each piece from the beach, how I glued it all together into one big sculpture. I wonder if Connor realizes what it means. That he'll always have a piece of me no matter what happens. Each piece of glass is another piece of myself that I gave him. It's too bad I didn't keep any pieces for myself. This was released May 8th of 2011. It was first released May 1st of 2011, and the publisher is Flex. And the page amount is 246 pages in the US paperback edition. And that's the font, it's really big. Now this one is about a girl named Anne, and she's a high school student, and she meets this boy Connor, and they start going out. But Connor has a hectic home life, and she's thrown into all that. And then she moves out of her house and lives with him, and he starts abusing her. And it was really hard to read this novel at times, and it brought back some memories of my childhood. So I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I don't think anyone over the age of 16 should read this due to the violent content and the swearing. So that's that. The next one is Sweethearts by Sara Zarr, and I'll read you the back. Some memories are slippery. There are things I want to remember about Cameron Quick that I can't entirely, like the pajamas he wore when he used to sleep over, and his favorite cereal, or how it felt to hold his hand as we walked home from school in 3rd grade. I want to remember exactly how we became friends in the first place. A definite starting line that I can visit again and again. He's a story I want to know from page 1. My brain doesn't seem to work the way most specific things, Cameron, are fuzzy. The day we met, how we got so close, exact words we said to one another. There are only moments, snapshots, pieces of the puzzle. Once in a while, I feel them right in my hand, real as present. But usually it's more like I'm grasping for paper. I understand that you can't never have the whole picture. Inevitably, there's stuff you don't know, can't know. But when it comes to Cameron, I always want more than I have. I would like to be able to take hold of at least one or two more pieces, if only because I'm convinced that there are parts of myself hidden inside them. sorry, Laptop in the Dark. This was released February 1st of 2008. The publisher is Little Brown for young readers, and the page amount is 224 pages in the U.S. hardback edition. This is about a girl named Jennifer and her friend Cameron, and they were best friends in 3rd grade, and she believes he mysteriously disappears, and so she reinvents herself because she was always picked on because she was chubby and wasn't, the very popular person in school, which I could really do. And so she moves from a different town than where she was living, her and her mom, because her mom gets remarried, and she changes her name and becomes what everyone wants her to be. But then when Cameron comes in, he shakes everything up, and she finds out that she wants to be more of herself than the person she pretended. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. I love the cover. It's really cute. Alright. Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I don't have to tell y'all what this is about. Everyone should know by now. But it was released August 24th by 2010. The publisher is Classic Press. And of course, it is book 3 in the Hunger Games series. And the page amount is 390 pages. And it's the hardback edition. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I didn't dislike the ending like a lot of fellow book reviewers felt. I think Suzanne did a really good job, and I'm looking forward to seeing the movie adaptation of this series. And last but not least, Fall for Anything by Courtney Summers. I'll read you the back. When Eddie Reeves' father commits suicide, her life is consumed by the nagging question of why. Why, when he was a legendary photographer and a brilliant teacher? Why, when he seemed to find inspiration in everything he saw? And most importantly, why, when he had a daughter who loved him more than anyone else in the world? When she meets Color Evans, a former student of her father's and a photographer himself, an instant and dangerous attraction begins. Color seems to know more about her father than she does, and could possibly hold the key to the mysterious surrounding his death. But Eddie's vulnerability has weakened her, and Color is getting too close, and her need for the truth keeps her hanging on. But are there some questions better left unanswered? This was released December 21st of 2010. The publisher is St. Martin's Griffin. The page amount is 230 pages in the U.S. paperback edition. So this girl named Eddie, her dad committed suicide, and her mom falls apart like anyone would. And she isn't really there for Eddie because she's consumed by her own grief. And so her mom's best friend Beth comes and tries to help. And Beth seems to be an annoying bitch. Sorry, but that's how she seemed in the book, and I didn't really care for her, just like Eddie didn't care for her. And you definitely feel Eddie's pain and confusion and needing to know why this happened. And her best friend Milo tries to be supportive and everything, and he actually found her the night it happened, but refuses to tell her what happened. Well, she meets this guy named Color who claims that he is a student of her father's, and he says that her father left clues, and maybe she thinks if finding these clues she'll find out what happened. But she finds out. But I don't want to tell you the rest. But this was really hard to read as well. It was my first Courtney Summers book, and I loved it. And like I said, if I didn't, I'd give it a 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, that's what I've read so far this month. A book inspired by time.